and welcome to Charts and Hearts. I'm Sarah, and she's Lindsay.
And together, we're working our way through an epic list of rom-coms in order to find and categorize tropes in the hopes of creating the nerdiest spreadsheet podcasts have ever seen.
And this episode, we're doing more weddings with 27 dresses. Ugh. Man, I really like this movie.
I really hate both female leads, but I love the movie.
Yeah, agreed. I don't know. I think there's just enough charming scenes.
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
That I enjoy it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, like, I definitely hated it more this time because I was writing the notes down, and I was just like, Jane, get your effing shit together.
I know.
But I've always hated her
No
sister.
is a complete sentence. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. So, yeah, 27 dresses with all the people. Mm-hmm. Katherine Heigl, James Marsden, Malin Ackerman, Edward Norton, everybody's fave, Judy Greer.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
It's great. And dumb.
Yes. Classic aughts rom-com.
Yes. Yeah. It's very of its time. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Let's get into it. Do you want to start?
Yeah. So the first thing, of course, is Katherine Heigl is supposed to be single and unattractive. So she has brown hair. Oh my God.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
And she wears brown clothes.
Yeah, she wears all neutrals unless she's in somebody else's bridesmaid's dress.
Yeah, the dress that she wears to the party at the beginning where Tess is there, like, it's really nice. I really like the design of it, like with the white, and they've got fun stripes on the skirt, but it's like, it is the same color as her hair. Like, they obviously did this on purpose.
For sure.
It looks like she's just so washed out and she's so nothing. And I'm like, why would anybody pick that dress to wear
it's the same
with your
for
hair?
her. Like, she clearly likes boring neutrals because, like, her wedding decor is just
so boring.
It's like on the beach with brown and khaki and white and beige and like
slight yellow,
pale yellow. Yeah. And then it's just the most blah. Yeah. So clearly this is just her color palette, but they're trying to make her mousy and dowdy. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh yeah, and so much fun, like, early 2000s racism diversity.
Yeah, that's kind of what it is. They're like, we'll be diverse about this, but it's going to be in a racist way, or at least just stereotypical.
Like, stereotypical, Yeah. So, like, she's in a wide variety of various weddings with, like, culturally appropriated, or, like, I guess not even cultural, just stereotypical wedding attire. Yeah. Which, happens. Like, you wear your, like, national dress or, like, your traditional wedding clothes to a wedding, but it's just, like, the only, like, she's, her Indian friend, everybody, they all wear, like, very, like, traditional looking Indian, like, sari type dresses, and the Asian looking friend, they all wear kimonos, whether or not they're actually Japanese, like, and
it's
then
just...
everybody else is white. So it's just it's like that tokenism, I guess.
That's what it is. Yeah. It's like, we're gonna put these people in here, but you have to notice. Except for his best friend, which was was very blind casting. I feel like I don't think that guy is
totally true.
Anybody. Like, it's not like Dave Chappelle and You've Got Mail.
Right. Yeah. The sort of junior reporter.
Yeah. So he's not there because he's a comedian or something. I don't think.
No. Yeah, that is true.
So it is.
That's true.
I would say it's kind of semi-blind casting. So that's nice.
Yeah. For sure. Yeah. And then the whole opening is just wedding trope after wedding trope. I mean, I can't take notes fast enough. But when she's changing back and forth from one wedding to the other, and it's hilarious. I love it so much.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. And it's a lot of YMCA and holding up the dresses while they pee, which I'm like, they both have multiple bridesmaids. Why do you have to do that? And
because she's the mom.
I know.
Like... Yeah.
And she really wants the bouquet because that's going to solve all of her problems. And if she's been a bridesmaid 27 times, she really should have caught the bouquet by now. Like, what's wrong with her?
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've tried to actively avoid catching the bouquet, so,
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's a fun, hilarious scene, and I love the taxi driver, and I love that he comes back later. Mm-hmm. It's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we meet her sister, who is terrible, and then also, so her sister Tess, who also makes Jane, like, even worse.
Makes her worse, yeah.
Yeah.
And, like, it's an interesting, like, I feel like it's probably started as an interesting look at sisters without a mom, and why she's like this and raising people and always being a helper, and that's how she feels seen and all of that kind of stuff. And like, there's interesting stuff behind it, but it is just handled poorly, and Tess is just the worst.
Yeah, I think it would be better if Tess was less terrible. Yeah. Because it would be more like, so it is very understanding and like well motivated of why Jane is like such a yes person and like such a people pleaser and such a carer, like to the extreme detriment of herself joy, like anything to do with herself. But it would be more understanding if like she'd done that and her sister had turned out to be like a semi-decent human being.
Like there's a lot of like parts of it that you could still keep, of like she could come home after not being there for a long time, except that's a different part, a plot hole that I'm confused about that we'll get to. So she could come home after a long time and like hasn't seen anyone, so she's getting a lot of attention. And she could still fall in love with her boss and still even lie about it. And that would be like a lot of it. Like it wouldn't change so much of the plot. But then acting like completely oblivious about it, then being super demanding, then cutting up her mother's wedding dress, which is just like so unforgivable. Like that is, and then not understanding why she has a problem with it and then being mad at her. Like that is so over the top. I can't deal with it.
If everything about Tess was like basically the same, except that there was way toned down the rivalry between Tess and Jane, like, or make it way more one-sided, that like Jane is envious of the freedom and the flexibility and the life that her sister has. Yeah.
And then her, as the being so free, gets Edward Norton. Like, like that would work. But so then the cutting of the wedding dress, and then after all of this stuff, Jane does her big speech, and then Tess is like, I understand, it's totally fine. You don't have to be my mom. And like, and she's a completely different person and knows what Jane's been doing this entire time, and everything's fine. And I'm like, no, those two things don't match at all. You can't be like, I don't care about this wedding dress that my dad gave me that of his dead wife. Like, let alone Jane. Like, he gave it to you as his daughter, from that his wife was married in, and you're like, I'm just gonna cut it up, and why is everybody so upset? And then be like, Jane, you don't have to, I know that you've been trying to be my mom this whole time, what's wrong with you? I love you as you are. I'm like, no, those are not the same people.
Jane, and also Jane doesn't get to be like the overbearing one when it's like, well, clearly Tess needed somebody. Okay, so then, Tess meets Jane's boss, who's Edward Norton, who she's been not secretly in love with forever. And, like, they immediately hook up. They have, like, really good chemistry. Like, it's funny, because they have really good chemistry, but then Tess being, like, the insecure early 2000s stereotypical girl, like, lies all of these things so that they have 100% overlapping interests and blah, blah, blah. And it's like either they have overlapping interests or she's, like, so dumb and needs help to do anything from him. Yeah, and then all of a sudden they're engaged, and it's intense.
Yeah, it's weird. Yeah, so the plot hole thing, that doesn't really matter because it doesn't go anywhere, is, again, the only problem with Tess is, like, how long are you staying this time? And she's like, I feel like I've been gone forever or longer than 6 months. So she says 6 months, but she's never seen Jane's apartment, and then also says it's small, which is, like, bigger than Monica and Rachel's apartment. Like, it's huge.
It's pretty nice. Yeah.
And then it's like, the store looks so different, and her dad acts like she hasn't seen her in years and years, and I'm like, why?
Yeah, it's weird.
Like, I don't know. Yeah, there's definitely some
inconsistent for sure.
Script issues, I think.
Yeah. And then, so, like, Jane's going through all this of, like, whatever, and the only friend she has is her one also unmarried friend. Like, she's been a bridesmaid 27 times and doesn't see any of these people ever. Except they all come to her wedding, which, like, thank goodness, because otherwise it would just be like, oh, you're like a complete doormat. Yep.
Yeah, so she doesn't, even the other bridesmaids, she's not friends with. Like, she has one friend.
Yeah, she has one friend. I think Judy Greer might have been in one of the. Oh yeah, Judy Greer was in the wedding, the one on the first wedding.
Yeah, and then in the
Western wedding,
and she was supposed to be in Tessa's wedding.
Yeah, which is ridiculous, but
yeah.
So then, like, through the whole thing, especially like through the montage, like flashback of the old previous weddings, it's like, she's a smart girl. Does she not realize that, like, you can have a job as a wedding planner? Like, you could get paid to be a wedding planner. They made a whole movie about it.
Yeah.
And then, like, you don't have to fake being friends with them to get invited to be a bridesmaid. Or, like, also people fake being friends with her because she's such a good bridesmaid that they get a free wedding planner out of it.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, exactly. Yeah. And it's just, and they never answer how she pays for it.
Yeah.
But then they bring it up multiple times, and I'm like, well, that makes it annoying. Don't bring it up. Or give me an answer.
If you don't have an answer.
Yeah.
Yeah, because, like, she works as an assistant for this guy. Like, she's not, like, in a very well-paid career.
And has a giant apartment.
She's, like, not going to pick a different
job
career because she wants a caring career.
Yeah.
And then also weddings. But anyways, I mean, wedding planners is like a caring career.
I know.
You just have to be your own boss.
Yeah, I think she would be a great wedding planner, but she would, again, would have to be able to say no. So.
Yeah, and also, like, stand up for herself and, like, you know, follow up on invoices and things like that. Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, and then, the big one that I have that, again, I'm sure you'll all comment because it's mentioned multiple times in the goofs, and we all know it's a problem, is that she goes to throw out all her bridesmaids dresses in her whatever, I'm going to become a new person, and then they're all being worn at the end, and also how do all those people fit in her bridesmaid dresses, but whatever. It's a goof.
Yeah.
It's made for a laugh. Anyway, don't throw out your bridesmaids dresses.
The throwing out the bridesmaids dresses as somebody who continually has, like, a pile of things that I'm planning to get rid of but haven't gotten rid of yet. Believable.
Yes.
They just wouldn't be hanging in the closet. They'd be in a pile at the bottom of my closet, which doesn't make sense with wedding dresses and her lack of closet. But
no.
Yeah.
But
she could have thrown them on a floor in an emotional rage and then
never done anything with them.
I can't just put them in the dumpster. I need to do something with them and then never gotten around to it.
Yep.
That seems relatable.
That does seem relatable. Anyway.
Yeah.
Don't throw them out.
Yeah.
Donate them.
Well, that too.
Even except for the really ugly ones and that bathing suit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god. So ridiculous. Okay. Unsurprisingly, there's a million tropes.
Oh my god. So many. All of my notes were tropes.
Yeah.
Okay. Start with now that we're tracking cities. New York, of course, one of the main ones.
Yep, of course. Yep. New York City. Yeah. Planning a wedding for somebody that you're in love with. It's a terrible idea. Don't do it.
Don't do it.
I think the secret to falling out of love with somebody is not seeing them.
Yep.
So if it's a person that you shouldn't be in love with because they're marrying your sister and they're your boss, less time with them is key.
Yes, that's how it works. Yeah, and then no chemistry with your longtime crush is a big trope. I think thinking about while you were sleeping also. But also, aside from the tropiness part, he shouldn't kiss her. He broke up with her sister the day before.
And he's
her boss.
Yeah.
Like, just, no.
Yeah. Yeah, not good. No. Not good. I mean, yeah, forgivable because as it turns out, it's, like, not good. Yeah. And then, so many voiceovers. There's voiceovers in the prologue, and then I think that the voiceover comes back in the epilogue, I think. Maybe? I don't remember.
Maybe a little bit? I don't remember.
I've been watching a lot of movies. Or, like, there's sporadic voiceover. It's an inconsistent voiceover.
Yes, like many movies. Yeah. Judy Greer.
Yeah. Judy Greer playing the best friend.
Yep.
She's so good.
She is good. And I like that she gets, like she's super snarky and hilarious, but she does get, like, a couple of good moments of she's like, stop being in love with him and do something with your life. But then at the end, she's like, did that make you feel better? Because that was what it was supposed to do, right? And, like, she was a very good best friend.
Yes. Yeah, she's a good, supportive best friend. Oh, yeah, big time enemies to lovers.
Oh, my God, we haven't even talked about him yet.
Yeah. Yeah, so James Marsters, he's so good in this. It's like, this was peak in my James Marsters era.
I know, it's pretty much the reason I watch it.
Yeah, I mostly like the physical comedy of all the wedding dresses and the floof.
But it's a good...
But between the two, between James Marsters and floofy wedding dresses, it's great. Yeah, great enemies to lovers, because it's, like, pretty... it's overall low stakes. Like, his betrayal of her is bad, but it's not like slept with your sister or like massive.
Yeah.
Like, it's a recoverable betrayal and like believably recoverable.
Yeah, definitely. It's much better than a lot of the other ones. Yeah, and for him, we've got the wants to be a real journalist and then has to do a secret big story on the protagonist to become a real journalist.
Aww. We've got dreams and hopes just like everybody.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Okay, yes. Montages and crazy sing-alongs.
Yep.
There's both.
Yep.
And they're both, like, there's so many montages, and the sing-along to Benny and the Jets is...
It's real good.
Peak. So good. I love it.
Yep.
Yeah, it's great.
Why doesn't James Marsters sing more? Just all the time.
I don't know.
I know, right? Like, he should.
Yeah. Was he in Into the Woods? Am I getting
No,
confused?
that's Chris Pine and then some rando who we
okay,
might know now,
wasn't
but
sure
that
if
was like 2011, so
Yeah.
I don't know who it's. But there was a point when she's rescued, when he wakes her up at the beginning, that I was like, you're literally being woken up by Prince Charming. That's literally...
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he's in...
Enchanted.
He's in Enchanted. Duh, that was what I was like, he sings in something.
Sings ridiculously.
He doesn't
in
sing
something.
much in that one, though. Yeah. I heard that he sings more in the sequel, but
Yeah, I
haven't
think
seen it yet.
everybody who can sing sings more in the sequel, because there was some notes about that.
Yeah, like, you hired these singers and they didn't let them sing, you crazy people. Anyways, we'll do those movies eventually, I'm quite sure.
Probably.
Okay. Oh, yeah, and then Stuck with No Cell Signal. Yep. And also, on the cell phone thing, her boss... No, yeah. Is it her boss or her friend? Gives her a...
No, he does. He gives
Palm
her
Pilot.
a BlackBerry.
Oh,
Palm Pilot,
right, yeah. The guy, James Marsters gives her a Palm Pilot BlackBerry digital scheduler situation.
And as a person, as a geriatric millennial, I'm like, phones with calendars are different than writing things down.
Yes, absolutely. And like the amount of information that she has for all of her spreadsheets would not comfortably
fit in there.
It would work for like her appointment calendar, but not for her
for stuff. And like she
everything.
had like photos and wedding invitations in her Filofax that I'm like, well, you can't.
Yeah.
Like, what are you gonna do? Take a picture? Then it's in a different spot than everything else. Like, it doesn't work. Sorry.
Yeah. Also, that Filofax, like she needs like a portable one and then like a memory book, not all one thing.
Yeah.
But
Whatever.
It was important for plot reasons.
Yes.
Yeah.
Dramatic wedding at the end. She even jumps onto a boat. Oh,
it's so awkward. Yeah, good dramatic running. It's very fun. Oh yeah, and then there's a big dramatic speech, of course. There's a couple of them.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then a wedding epilogue.
Yay. The most beige wedding.
It's so beige.
Okay, yeah, so many tropes. It's like 50% tropes. Lindsay, does this movie pass the Bechdel test?
Yes. Because they talk about their moms. Like, they talk about weddings a lot. Obviously, that's the plot of the movie, but
Yeah.
more as a industry than a
Yeah, they talk about wedding industry, and they talk about, like, Tess and Jane talk about, like, their work and their mom and all that kind of stuff.
And she does talk about her work with Judy Greer as well.
Judy Greer. Yeah, for sure. Yep. Okay, pie.
Dresses, obviously. You already wrote this down.
Dresses.
Obviously, 27%.
27%. It's really the only option. Okay, so then should we give...
Oh, I did James Marsden. James Marsters. It's the same. It happens all the time.
Oh yeah, James Marsden. Yes, if we've said the wrong thing, James Marsters is not in this movie. James Marsden is.
Yes. James Marsden.
When I say the name the same, it's not the same picture in my head.
No.
It's just a bad pronunciation.
Yes.
Okay.
The other one was busy being also hot, but whatever.
Yes, indeed. Yeah. Should we give James Marsden 23 and then we can get back
to evil? Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so 23% swooning over mostly James Marsters, but a little bit Edward Norton, but very little. Because he's a sleazebag, but like a really hot one. Okay, and then
Benny and the Jets.
Like 20% Benny
yeah,
and the Jets?
because it's like not really an important plot point, but it does have a callback. And if you, one of those things of like, what do you think of when you think of 27 Dresses? It's up
you
there.
think of the dresses.
And Jane,
if you think of anything other than the dresses, you think of the Benny and the Jets montage.
Yeah, exactly.
Or Benny and the Jets sing along. Yeah. So 20% Benny and the Jets, and then obviously 50%, or no, 30%. Wedding montages.
Yep.
It probably should be more, but
there's so
we
many.
like James Marsden.
Yeah, we do.
And then secret bonus invisible line item is Jane's ability to say no. 0%.
Yep.
I would like it to be negative, but you can't put negative in a pie.
Nope. But yes, 0%. Yes. She gets an F.
0%.
F minus.
Yep. DNS. Did not start.
Yep.
Not even did not finish. Okay.
What's next for them, do you think?
I think, like, they made it a year. They, like, ended up getting married. I don't have high hopes for Tess and Edward Norton.
No.
I think they'll, like, date for a bit and then realize, like, oh, he's outdoorsy and likes doing all these things, and she is kind of a terrible human being.
Yeah.
And also doesn't like they have no interest in common.
They have no interest, like, you can, there's the whole thing of her faking things, like, you can fake being a vegetarian, but for how long? And then you're just a vegetarian. Yeah. And you can fake some things, and she's like, I like tanning and going on yachts. I'm like, he literally climbed all the mountains. Those are different. Like, it's not like he likes to ride his bike to work. He's a different like level of outdoorness.
Not Patagonia.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. Like, they're very different outdoorsy levels. Mm-hmm. And, like, I like being outdoors, and we go outside and go on walks all the time, but that is not the same at all.
Yeah. I think, like, if she could learn to like something outdoorsy,
then maybe, but
I don't have high hopes. Mm-mm. Yeah. And I really want Judy Greer to be happy in her life, whatever that means for her. Mm-hmm. And Lindsay, what's next for us?
Oh, we're going to another not real wedding, but this time it's in Greece, and not one.
There's even more singing.
Oh, 3 dads show up. Oh, yeah.
3 dads.
It's Mamma Mia month, and I'm so excited.
So fun. Yeah, we're going to do Mamma Mia and Mamma Mia 2, because they're amazing summer movies, and who doesn't love ABBA?
Yeah, and we definitely haven't had enough Colin Firth in our pies yet this year.
True fact.
Spoiler alert, there'll be more in November. Ooh.
Oh, yeah, so much.
Yes, and then on the Patreon, we're kind of just making things up, doing Pitch Perfect, because it's a jukebox musical, just like Mamma Mia, and so it's fine. Everything's fine.
And also just, I guess last week, I think when you're listening to this podcast, but today as we're recording it, we put out The People We Hate at the Wedding on our Patreon, because it's a wedding-themed comedy, not a rom-com. But yeah, it was fun. It was a good fun episode. So yeah, if you are into that, Lindsay will tell us where you can find us.
I was just going to say, it's also featuring 3 people who can sing, who don't sing. But anyway, you can find that and all of our other Patreon episodes at patreon.com/chartsandheartsclub. $2 a month, and you get all of those, plus our super special Spotify playlist with music from each movie we talk about, main feed and Patreon, and you can probably guess what's going on there for this one. So
Yay. It's such a good playlist. It's also very random, so depending on your mood, there's lots of skips. But also depending on your mood, there's no skips. Thank you so much for joining us. Don't forget that you can send us a rating or a review wherever you get your podcasts, and you can find us on social media. We're at Charts and Hearts Podcast on Instagram, Facebook, etc., and at Charts and Hearts on Twitter.
Yep. And you can head to our website, chartsandhearts.com, where you can submit your suggestions for rom-coms and tropes. Did we somehow miss some from this movie?
Oh my gosh, probably. I can't write that fast.
Nope. And of course, as we said, you can also check out our Patreon and help us keep doing this really ridiculous thing.
That we really love doing.
Yep.
And you can let us know your thoughts on this movie, and in the meantime, so you admit that believing in marriage is kind of like believing in Santa Claus. Thanks, folks.
Bye.